Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 22. We're getting on a year, guys. 22 of Task Force Unlikely, Deeper and Deeper. So last time, the head of Orcus came through a cloud. A mysterious grandmother spider showed up to beat him up. Navira's clickbait title for the episode was Grandma Spider Dunks on Demon Lord of Undeath.
It's such a good clickbait title.
You guys fought off some demons. Navira got vomited on. Kaw and Tarbek concentrated on the Hallow while trading off healing some people and providing protection spells. Gayle shot some critical fire rays, which we found out sound like bwomp 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 when you shoot the rays. So, you guys beat the demons. Grandma Spider beat up Orcus and sent him back to his lair of the Abyss for now. He said bring him the artifact and he won't come back. But I believe no one wanted to do that except for Karen, whose name is Karen. Can I talk to your Manazir? And there's a bunch of apostrophes in there. Her policy is appeasement, which we all know works very well historically. We also find out that Grandma Spider may or may not be Lolth and may or may not be Gayle's grandmother. And you guys get back on the lava boat, back to the Obsidian Citadel. You meet up with Valtha the Undying, and she describes the artifact to you as the Guardian's Tear, which is a piece of distilled magic straight from Mystra, and has various properties that would make it dangerous for someone like Orcus to have.
It's totally cool for some schlubs like us to have.
She said if you gave it to her, she would make sure it is safe in the Shadowfell.
Right.
Which the Team Insight, the clerics, made a check on, and you guys believe she is being sincere. Everybody got a long rest, and it is the morning. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah. Last night, before I took my rest, I did send off some messages to King Brunor as well as my nephew, just letting them know what the situation was.
Okay.
I don't know if we need to elaborate on that.
If you just want to do like a basic description, that's... Oh, okay. Sorry about that. OBS crashed. It hates back. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Tarbek was sending a message to Brunor describing some of the things that have happened, and to his nephew describing some of the things that have happened.
Yeah, I want to make sure both of them have a general idea, so I basically say, found passage to Drow City, found passage through River of Lava with elementals to Drow City of... Fuck, what's the Drow City called again?
Kaw
Zorlin. Orcus trying to take artifact from there. Will report more. TTYL.
Okay.
Hopefully that's less than 25 words. It probably isn't.
Well, if you're about to take a nap, if you're about to take a nap, you can just burn all your spell slots. So,
yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do.
So, okay. So, your nephew...
whose name is... One second.
Sure.
His name is... I'm sorry, it's been a while since I looked at my various wards.
His nephew named Nephew.
No, I have a name for him. I'm pulling up the page right now.
It's Steve.
It's not. I'm positive it's okay.
Look, it's a family name.
Domhall Cinderbeard.
Okay. So Dom Hall
Transmuter Wizard
responds with the screaming emoji. Now, he says, "Oh, dot. Oh, question mark." He'll say,
"Just get back that bouncing the other person is typing thing for a while."
Yeah. Dot. Now he'll say that he'll inspect lava ways into and out of Glaurum, make sure they're secure, if not fully explored. He won't send anyone too far out. And to keep him updated, what with the Orcus sightings.
Thumbs up emoji.
Scene. Brunor says, "Well, shit." That's his response.
IKR question mark.
Yeah. Finger guns. Okay. Anybody else? Anything before bed?
No, because I need that spell slot back first.
Okay. Everybody gets a long rest. In the morning, you all awaken to the smell of breakfast, and by that I mean beans from Vault of the Undying's pot. She's just making beans.
That's fair.
Raw beans.
Look, beans are fine.
Yeah, but I get to go beans.
Beans. Okay, what would you guys like to do in the morning?
Well, first eat the beans, of course.
Sure.
Mira's going to take a moment to remember everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she saw the Demon Lord Orcus, totally not completely processed that yet. But I think throughout the day, this will start in the morning, she's going to just start trying to compile all the information that she has about the Demon Lord Orcus, what can be done, if he has any weaknesses, and if she has potentially any contacts that can tell her about what the demon army is planning.
Okay. So, as for weaknesses, demon lords don't really have many.
Yeah, that's just about what she thought, and it doesn't help her panic any.
Orcus is a bit known. He's got one very big deal artifact, the Wand of Orcus. And you saw that it has a human skull in the end, and it's this big. It's more like a rod than a wand, but it's this very imposing looking wand. That's a big deal artifact. If you can get that away from him, it would lessen his powers. And then his big sword is Orcus sword. I think it is very, very cleverly named. Is another powerful artifact. If you can disarm him in some way, that would be helpful to your cause. As for people you would know who might have some intel on him, a couple people from the court of Zariel would almost certainly have intel on him. And someone else who might have intel on him is Shemeshka the Marauder, who you technically owe a favor, and she owes you a favor, and it's a whole thing.
Neither of those are very good options.
Oh no, that's why she wanted blood. Oh dear, I just got that now.
She wanted a very
fine.
specific person's blood, and
It's fine.
I wouldn't worry about why.
Alright, cool.
That's just kind of... You might have to decide which is literally the lesser of two evils. So...
God, and most of the defectors I know are dead, so... Cool.
Pretty
Don't
much.
have a lot of people I
And
can
whose
trust.
fault is that?
Luck. I haven't been caught yet. Alright. Like, you can't always tell what's going on in Navira's head just by looking at her, so it's just flat-faced panic while eating beans.
A little bit of smoke starts coming out of her ears.
Oh, jeez. We're in for a real treat this session, I bet.
Oh, at some point. What Kaw is going to do is actually hand Avaltha a list of spell components, which is a pretty simple list because she already seems like she does some divination magic.
Mhm.
Is some incense worth at least 250 GP and 4 ivory strips worth 50 GP each. Some of which Kaw probably already has, but, you know, if she has a store, she probably has more than I do.
I have 4 sticks of incense that I will give to Kaw. I don't know how much that is money-wise.
They're probably not super... It's a lot of incense.
Just like a log of incense.
Yeah.
Or it's just very nice incense.
It could be
which
very nice
Very
incense.
nice incense is a very common spell component when you get to divination.
So, Tarbek hands you a couple, and she says she can source the rest of them for you. She does indeed do a lot of divination magic, so she has a good stockpile sourced from the Shadowfell, so she can get you a couple things before you leave. Which, if anybody else has any questions or anything for her, she'll kind of look at all of you before she goes to get that stuff for Kaw. Like, anybody?
Making Shadowfell run. Anybody need anything?
Shadowfell run and done.
It's a weird game system. You got to use a lot of d6s. Shadowrun joke. Never mind. Anyway,
I think
it wasn't very good, so don't worry. about it.
It's funny.
She'll go out, come back about half an hour later with the ivory strips and a very, very finely carved box that has incense in it, and she'll hand them to you, Kaw.
Neat. I'm gonna go cast Legend Lore on the Guardian's Tier,
Ooh. Let me get my wiki.
which I don't expect will tell me where it is or anything, but it should essentially tell me the story of it, and where it came from, who made it. So it should give us some interesting.
Does Legend Lore come with like a slideshow or something?
Spell brings to mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. Lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. The thing you named is not of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. Information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language. For example, if you have a mysterious magical axe on hand, spell might give information. Woe to the evildoer, hand touches axe, blah blah blah. It can be.
Okay. So, the Guardian's Tier is from the Time of Troubles, which is the gap between first and second edition, where all the gods briefly lost their powers and Ao, the overgod, made them walk the earth in human form. It got complicated. Mistra died, sort of. It got weird. The god of assassins died because assassins were no longer a class in 2nd edition. So every assassin dropped dead.
Then they pop back up a little bit later as prestige class when 3rd came around.
Yes. It was weird. So the tier was accidentally created by Helm. Where he kind of accidentally killed the avatar of Mistra because she tried to get back into heaven, essentially, and Helm, duty bound, had to kill her, and it created the Guardians tier. So, deeply regretted the death of Mistra he had been forced to carry out. In grave sorrow, the god had cried a single tear, which, unbeknownst to all, fell to earth until coming to a halt above the tar pit, which the godly energy had created when unleashed. The Guardians tier, as it would be ever known, contained both the Vigilant One's anguish and the chaotic energies of the Lady of Mysteries. The Guardians tier was never seen again, for the Dark Elves, a rebellious splinter sect secretly devoted to Talos, had taken it to their stronghold in the Underdark. With its ability to twist, deaden, and otherwise destabilize all magic around it, these terrorists hope to bring down the ruling oligarchy, despite, or more likely because of the fact that the sphere of disruption in the Weave would create another Helm lands in the Underdark.
I didn't like this one of the trilogy. I thought it was a little bit drawn out.
That a relic whose origin was so deeply saddening could be brought to such an evil purpose made Helm feel worse.
Cried again.
Having a rough day.
Yeah.
No, he didn't cry a second time because that happened the first time he cried, and he didn't want to do it again.
Yeah. And then
Get back in there, tier.
the last thing, no mage knows for certain how to destroy the Guardians tier, as it has never been destroyed. But the most direct and obvious was to have Helm himself crush it in his gauntlet. That's easy. Go find a god. Other suggestions include letting it be swallowed by the Sphere of Annihilation, a very specific one called Entropy, or placing it undisturbed for 1,001 years in the auras of 1,001 elements. So, again, real easy things to do. Artifacts are very easy to destroy.
Yep.
Any other questions I can answer about the Guardians tier that might have been answered by Legend Lore?
No, I think that's about it.
Continue watching Task Force Unlikely as they continue their quest to find God.
If that is our goal, then I am going to punch God when we find him, just as a matter of principle.
Yeah, it's gonna get real Final Fantasy up in here.
I was going to say Full Metal Alchemist, but that's also a good one.
It looks like we're already starting to beat demons with the power of friendship. The next logical step would be God.
Yeah. We're getting shitty.
We all need way more belts, guys. We need more belts.
So many belts, and nobody's using them right.
Tarbek's beard all of a sudden becomes like blue and spiky.
Just that dress belt from, I think it was Final Fantasy X. Kaw needs that.
Yeah. That's Lulu. She's the second worst use of belt, or second most wrong use of belts in video games.
What's the first most wrong?
Jack from Mass Effect. That's not how belts work, honey. Okay. Marty also said in chat, Jack
Marty
from Mass
agrees.
Effect 2. Yep. We've talked about this before.
Yes, we have.
There's like some baggage here that I don't know about.
Belts in fantasy are weird. That's all
There you
you really need to know.
I gotta look up a picture of that.
So back to D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons. What else, guys?
Okay, so now we just have to figure out a way to infiltrate a Drow city to find a highly sought after artifact that Miss, I would like to speak to your Menazir, wants to actually give to the demon.
Oh, so she
want
has
to-
belts instead of clothes. Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Oh god, oh no.
So, but yes, Navira is pretty accurate.
Putting our to-do list together.
Valtha will say that she knows a way into an area below the city that might prove useful. The artifact may not be in the city itself; it could be in one of the layers below it.
Oh good, we're going deeper underground.
Yes.
And deeper.
Deeper.
Weird.
And deeper. She'll say, over time, the city has been built up on itself, where this is just the topmost layer of city, really, and there's tunnels and such underneath that would possibly...
The only creatures that live even deeper are, like, Durgar and Mind Flayers. And, like, I don't...
We are bound to encounter at least one Drider.
You do know there's at least a Drider out there. And he's got a long rest.
Are there any of the people within Kaw Jay who know about these underground caverns?
Valtha will say she's not sure. Kaw Jay was abandoned and then resettled, essentially. And not necessarily abandoned, but it was a lot of people left and then came back. And by recently, she means like probably 100 years ago, because they're drow, they live forever.
Only 100 years ago? Really?
But she says it's unlikely anyone in the city would really remember kind of the lower levels.
She mentioned 100 years ago as a short amount of time. Kaw simultaneously feels very old and very...
See, going underground in the tunnels would allow us to remain inconspicuous. The problem is, if someone were to discover us under there, it would look incredibly suspicious as to why the new Drow house suddenly showed up and is now sneaking around under the city.
That's my
Yes.
worry, too.
So we're going to have to be careful.
I'm not exactly the sneakiest person.
Rattles jewelry.
Oh, then let's not sneak.
Clunk.
You can just go up and say, like, hey, we have some information about where it might be. We just need to get into your undercity for a hot sec.
Do you think you can convince them to do that?
Hey y'all, let me at that Undercity.
Please tell me Kaw actually said that.
No.
She said it in someone else's voice.
I mean, if we can convince them that a whole new Drow house exists, then look, I don't know if we can push this any further, but it might be worth a shot.
I vote that we just... You know what? I'd rather take the sneaky route, honestly.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2 votes for sneaky, 1 vote for slightly more upfront, although still duplicitous. Navira, what do you think?
Well, if we're divided on this, then maybe we can come up with a third alternative.
Go home.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, not while we've got a demon on our ass, because that will eventually catch up and kill us.
Yeah, this is an
me.
everyone problem.
As much as I like your suggestion, Kaw, we're gonna... Death awaits in every corner.
Alright, fine, we'll talk to the drow, but I'm starting to get the feeling they don't like me.
I mean, worst comes to worst, they say no, and we take the sneaky route anyway.
That's a very fair point. Whereas we can't take the sneaky route and then be like, hey, so we're sneaking around under your city. Sorry.
I mean, you said no, you're a bunch of drow, what did you expect us to do? Listen to you?
Wow.
I mean, you might want to be a little less hostile, because,
Well,
No, you're right.
trying to keep up appearances.
Right.
Lady of Mezzoxenidir. Mezzoxenidir.
Importer and exporter.
Mezzoxeniteamster.
We've had a very good year from imports.
Yes. Yes.
Down year for exports, but that's okay.
We'll make fun for it next year. We've got a great contract coming in with people.
Imports and exports.
Okay, pardon me.
So
Mhm.
so we're all in for the half-lies plan?
Sure.
Hope you're ready to spin more lies.
I mean, we can just keep digging this hole deeper and deeper.
I mean, we're not lying. We need this artifact, or else Orcus is going to come back and try to kill everybody. They have as much, like, they need to find this artifact as much as we do, or else they're all going to end up with demons on their door.
Honestly,
That's not the part that you're lying about that I'm concerned about.
look, that's a very good rationale. I think they'll have to buy into.
Yeah, the best liars are the ones where you put truth in them.
Look, let's
Cannot
just.
predict now.
We should just get this over with.
Yes.
Okay. So, Valtha wishes you luck. She says if you need anything, send to her. She'll be prepared to move, otherwise she'll be spying on you.
Fair enough.
And then you guys head back out to the lava river, and the fire newts are elated to see you all. You have returned!
Yeah! Men's let's go to kill Quinn's Island again! Woo!
Hey, Tarbek, you might just want to avoid saying it altogether.
Back to the city for the Firebeard.
Oh boy.
Everybody gets on the boat, they spin around, and take you guys back to the city, singing their little fire newt sea shanties, or lava shanties, about how great Imix is, and how the world will burn, and how cleansing fire is, and it's really, really rad, and everyone should listen, and
Somewhere in there's a really good rendition of Gilligan's Island theme.
Yeah. You can see one of the fire newts takes off his hat and hits the first mate with it. You guys pull back up to the city and disembark, and there are more people out in the streets than before. It seems like the closure of the gross demon pit has brought some people out of their kind of shelter-in-place warnings.
Oh boy, everyone's out and murdering each other. It's lovely.
Oddly enough, towns, even drow towns, were more pleasant without an abscessed flesh pit in the middle.
Well, I think.
Really driving down real estate prices.
It's not a volcano, so I don't care.
Points to river of lava that is visible from here.
I'm kidding. It's a great spot.
Oh, pardon me. Okay. So, do you all find? I assume you find the matron mother and not Karen.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're not looking for Karen.
Yep. Also, Gayle, go ahead and just take advantage on everything charisma based.
Okay.
Okay.
Enhance ability.
Enhance ability.
Okay, your ability is enhanced. So, the matron mother is finishing up conducting some service to Lulth, the Dark Mother, and wipes her hand of sacrificial blood, and she looks at all of you and says, "Yes, you have returned. What new details have you brought to us this day?"
So, it turns out that you have a very highly powerful, very old artifact somewhere underneath your city. We would like your permission to go underneath the city to see if we can find it.
She says, "Of course, the Undercity is, I believe, totally unoccupied, but yes, it goes. Honestly, we don't know how deep, but of course, there is a cavern at the edge of town that will lead you down further into the Underdark and into the lower levels of the city."
Awesome. We will go there now. If you don't see us in a couple of days, we're probably dead. Good luck with Orcus. And just kind of like push everybody.
Don't even have to push.
Goodbye.
It's like,
No,
we're leaving,
absolutely
we're
not.
going.
Okay. You guys head to the outskirts of town and find the cavern she is talking about, and you can see at first it's just a kind of natural decline going down, but as you get further, there are unfinished carved steps coming up, so you can start to go downstairs.
Tarbek resists the urge to fix them with stone shape.
And
Must not renovate.
you all enter into another large open cavern. You can kind of see where the lava river is above you, just because the ground looks different there. It's kind of smooth lava rock, but other than that, it's not dissimilar from the avenue above you. It's obviously unoccupied, but there is what looks like a row of temples down the main thoroughfare instead of just the one temple you saw upstairs.
Man, Morden is gonna have some questions for me after this.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, as long as you guys are fighting evil, I think you'll be all right.
Signs point to yes.
Yeah, we're fine.
Though I do not doubt there is some bad stuff down here.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
You guys can go smite everything and make everything slightly better. You'll be fine.
Cannot predict now.
Alright then, I would like to... never mind. I don't have anything to cast. Onward and downward.
Can cast augury. We can see how terrible of an idea this is.
Do you want to?
it? Sure.
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 Wheel. There's nothing.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, that's cool.
Neat.
see, I have good ideas sometimes. Good job, Gayle. And she'll like pat her on the shoulder.
You're all nod.
yeah, sure. Good job, Gayle.
Alright.
Signs point to yes.
So do you guys? What do you guys do?
How many temples did you say there were?
There are 8.
And-
Turn on my divine sense. Get that paladin radar going.
Within 60 feet, you detect one of them is a hallowed space, but only one of them.
Only one.
Yes.
Hmm.
I vote.
Temples.
Yeah, I vote we go hallowed first and see what's up with that.
Oh,
All right. Sword out. Advance carefully.
Okay. So you pass a disused temple of Lolth. You can recognize it as very similar to the one you saw upstairs. Across from that is a temple that's it's like the opposite in every way to the Lolth temple. You could tell it was probably bright at some point when all the torches were lit. You can see the remnants of musical instruments and kind of speaking podiums scattered throughout. But neither of those are the hallowed spaces. The hallowed space is...
Here we have the Temple of Lolth. There we have the Temple of Lolthant.
Perfect.
Let's see. Here we go. The hallowed space is a temple where the carved into the rock face above the temple is a symbol which looks like... Come on. A symbol which looks like like an eye mask.
Cool. This seems very like, I don't want to say very Gayle, but like, you recognize a Gayle?
Do I?
Would I recognize it?
You guys can make religion checks.
Oh.
I will make a religion check.
That is a natural 1. Off to a great start.
Vera's
Still,
got
that's
nothing.
That's still a 6.
Oh, okay, well,
I got
that is pretty good from a 1.
I got a 13.
13? Okay.
That's a 9, but let's not forget that Kaw's holy symbol is literally a masquerade.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I will take
I got
that.
a 10.
That's something.
10. Okay.
13.
13 was the highest.
I'll guidance myself. Duh.
Okay.
It's a 16. Yeah.
16? Okay. You're trying to remember all the drow gods you learned in Send Away Mord in school.
Like a song about it. First there's Lawless, she's a queen of spiders. She likes to turn people into driders.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Going through the list, you're like, well, across the street's Elistray. She's the one who's all into poems and not being Lolth. You think this is the temple to Veyron.
And do I know anything about Veyron with that check?
He is the drow god of thievery.
All
What's
right.
his name? What's his name?
Veyron, and it's spelled weird. It's VHAERAUN.
Okay. Veyron, yeah.
And
Church
this
of
is the only
Veyron.
one that's hallowed.
This is the only one that's hallowed.
Okay. To the thing.
Does this hallowed ground have a daylight effect?
Not quite. So, you guys enter.
I carefully nudge the door open with my sword.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm moving around a lot.
Yeah. I'm getting motion sickness from the one tiny little square on my screen.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes you just gotta move.
This is my mom just came home and now she wants to watch Friends, which is fine, but I can't play D&D in the same room that she's watching Friends.
I mean, we're essentially playing Friends.
Yeah.
So no one told you the Underdark would be this bad.
The one.
I'm sorry that got me.
This is the one with the hallowed ground in the Underdark. So. The church, the temple itself is very plain. It doesn't have a lot going on, almost as if they didn't want to get robbed. It's very plain. There's a couple pews, some intricate looking lock boxes. There's the mask. The mask is repeated a couple times throughout. And as you're going through, towards the back is where Navira sensed the hallowed space. And you can see towards the back where the hallowed space is, there is a sphere of darkness, as if maintained by a darkness spell.
So not daylight, but in fact the exact opposite.
Yes.
Good. I have the daylight spell prepared, so if we want to get rid of that, we can just like that.
Can we dispel that with the dispel magic?
For sure, but
Yes,
do we want to dispel
but-
do we want to dispel the holiness?
I mean, this is the Drow Underdark and a temple for the god of peace.
Can't be that holy then.
My point exactly.
I mean, I can either cast dispel magic or daylight. I think either one will. I don't suppose I could just dispel the darkness, could I? Or would I have to dispel the whole thing?
No, if you think, yeah, if it's just a darkness effect, you think you could just dispel the darkness part of it.
I dispel the darkness.
Okay. Yeah, that just works because darkness is a low enough level spell. So as you dispel the darkness, you can see that floating underneath the darkness is an intricately carved rapier.
Not touching that.
Can I just give 10 minutes with identify?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, I have to touch it to identify it, right?
I believe so.
Okay,
All right.
Don't do that. Don't. No.
I have hit points and I'm resistant to poison. I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, but you're not
The
resistant
fact
to
that-
other effects.
True.
We'll make
Like,
it work.
say, possession.
What? That's
True.
never happened except for that one time.
That turned out okay.
I
Yeah, I
have
got to kick him through a
personal
dimensional door.
history. This.
To be fair, so does Tarbek. He was there. Oh my god. Look, we can't just leave the magic sword, guys. I mean, come on.
The magic sword that's a rapier from a drow thief, God, when we have a drow thief in our party that uses rapiers? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
He
this
can
is
leave it there.
obviously a setup.
I'd like to.
I can cast detect magic if you want.
I think identify is probably what we need, but
I'm not letting you touch that.
we might want to check for traps. This feels like a check for traps situation. I'm realizing.
Detect magic would give you information about it. It would not give you the same kind of information as identify, but it would still do something. And you don't have to touch it.
That's what I was thinking.
That would be the benefit of it. Let me make sure you don't have to. Let me make sure you do have to touch for identify. Let's see.
Almost positive you do.
Pretty sure you do, but
I turn and look to the left. Do I see the word overthinking written on the wall?
You have a passive perception of like 1 billion. No. You're in a weird drow temple that's technically holy. And you just had to disarm a darkness spell and there's a floating sword. I don't know any sword that's ever been bad.
Is it just suspended in the air?
Yes.
Oh my god.
As long as this one doesn't talk.
Yeah, if it starts talking, drop it, run.
Check for traps first, maybe.
Okay, I'll check for traps.
Okay. Investigation check, please.
And I will cast guidance, so you get an extra D4 on that.
I don't think I need it. I rolled a natural 19.
Oh, damn.
Like plus 11, so.
You really are the Nella of skill checks.
Okay.
It's like insane.
So,
Just a casual 30.
looking around, you do find a trap, and you can with that check. I'll even say you disarm it because you got like 1 billion. But you get a weird sense that you were supposed to find the trap. Like that's part of like a priestly ritual is disarming the trap.
It checks out.
Oh, shit. Is Gayle going through like a initiation test?
Well, I mean, maybe, but not specifically. The trap wasn't specifically there for Gayle. It just the priests of this god, because he's a god of thievery, they like lockpicking and stuff. So picking the locks was part of their like rituals.
Why couldn't a Gayle be descended from this guy?
Who says she isn't?
Look, Lolth got around, so...
Jesus Christ.
Outlook not so good.
Oh, wait, no, this is actually Lolth's son. Oh, no! This is Lolth's son. Sorry, meta-knowledge. Unsay that.
Outlook not so good!
I hate to imagine Gayle is standing there while the rest of us collectively lose our mind.
Gayle's busy. She's disarming a trap. It's just she's tuning us out right now. It's fine.
She's in the zone. Don't distract.
Yeah, she's all like seriously disarming a trap. Everyone's just waving their hands and freaking out behind her.
I mean, I rolled a 16 in religion, but I'm sorry, I accidentally scrolled down in the article about what's his face.
Roll to metagame.
No, I actually do feel kind of bad about that. I'm sorry. I will not do that again.
Oh, God, Lord. Alright. Well, if nobody else is going to do anything, Navira's going to reach out with her sword and touch the sword rapier. Just be like...
It wobbles gently.
She's stand there and be like, I don't know what I expected.
All right, Gayle,
Anybody else got other ideas?
Just take the
Gail
fucking
just-
sword.
Gail just grab it.
Okay.
It's still been half an hour since I cast Augury.
Yeah,
If it has been less than half an hour, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, Gale grabs the sword, and it is jet black and shiny to the touch. Although when it passes through darkness, you can see the blade disappears, so it seems to be invisible in darkness. And when it was floating there, the sword looked like it was sized for a person taller than Gale. When Gale picks it up, it shrinks slightly to be more appropriate to her height. Like it would be more comfortable to wield.
Neat.
Gee, thanks.
I think it likes you.
Yeah.
So is Gale attuned to that, or?
She can attune to it, and then I can tell you more of what it does.
Oh, I think I have to give something up then. I think I used up all my first slot.
You got all 3 slots? Okay.
Although
Yeah.
now we know it's not super trapped, it could have an identify spell cast on.
I wiggly woo. I cast identify on
Okay.
you. Okay, tell me everything about the sword.
It is a plus...
That is now just like the verbal components to identify, and you will never convince me otherwise.
Wiggly woo, I cast identify on
Wiggly
you.
woo, I identify you!
It is a +2 rapier. +2 to attack and damage. As implied, it is invisible in darkness. And once a day, you can use a reaction to cause someone attacking you with a melee weapon to attack themselves instead.
Let's do
Sounds like a
rapier
good
to
sword.
stop hitting yourself.
Mm-hmm. And the name of the sword is Night Shadow.
A little
Okay.
redundant, but
Yeah,
it's a cool sword.
A little bit.
Is
Okay.
it- I turn to Gale. I go, "It's a good sword."
Ah. Ah.
Eventually, we do need to come across a magical sword that is just named Edgelord.
That's such a good name for a magical sword. Oh my god. That's actually really smart.
Okay.
High
Should we keep going?
Signs point to yes.
Okay. Gail will stow the sword away for a little bit until she can attune to it.
Okay.
Because I gotta make decisions.
What other items do you have that you need to tune in?
I have my armor of uncanny dodge. I have my medallion of thought, which I died for, and I have my ring of fire resistance.
That is a good
Ah.
one to have. You don't use the uncanny dodge roll armor.
I know,
If
but
you-
it's like my armor.
Well, if you unattuned from it, it would still be your armor. You just wouldn't get the magical effect of it.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe I'll unattune from that then.
I'm just glad that the cape of billowing does not require attunement, because now Gale, while stowing the sword in my mind, looks super.
Okay. So back out into the Avenue of Forgotten Gods. What would you guys like to do?
Should we look at the other ones?
Would like to reflect on calling it the Avenue of Forgotten Gods and realize that we have named yet another metal album.
It's true, and us in front of all these destroyed temples is another metal cup.
At some point, we have to go back through all the episodes and compile the Task Force Unlikely discography.
Yeah. All the metal songs and metal album covers
Gonna be a
and
lot.
titles. And... I like
For
it.
none of us playing music, we have been prolific in the genre of metal.
Korg has just been chronicling these adventures and writing songs about.
All right, Navira's going to proceed exactly 60 feet from where she first activated her design sense. She's just going to do it again.
Okay.
Boom.
Ping. You sense nothing else down this avenue.
Alright, I got nothing.
Alrighty then. Are we good to keep going?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you think we'll find any other magic sword in these temples.
Look, we could look in all of them. Tarbek's not really gonna like give him that much of a glance. He'll probably go to like the entrance of each temple and be like, eh.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Any magic swords here?
So there's a temple across the way that's got like a bunch of tentacles and oozes carved into it.
Nope. Skipping that one.
There is a temple that seems to be of a warrior god. Kind of generic swords and battle scenes carved into it. There seems to be one of perhaps a goddess of assassins, which is somehow different than thievery and such. And then there's one that would probably be recognized to everyone as similar to Temples of Mystra, but it's seemingly embracing the chaotic side of magic.
We should check those.
Mystra. Ding, 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 ding,
Seems
ding,
relevant.
ding, ding. Very.
Okay. And then, so we're tagging that one to check. And then there's another one which seems to be a temple to a goddess of undeath, but that one seems to have been purposefully defaced.
Good. Good job, guys. I vote Mystra. Or Chaos Mystra.
Let's go check the spooky temples.
Great idea.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I'm fazed by a lot less stuff now, in general.
You guys have been through a lot, so yeah. So
It is decidedly so.
After I saw the obsessed flesh pit, I was like, you know what? This is probably as fucked up as things are going to get.
Kaw's just gonna look at Tarbek when he mentions that and just make the screaming mushroom sound.
Dude, if you think demons stop at abscess flesh pits, boy, if I got some stories for you.
No.
I don't
My
wanna.
reply is no.
That's what I thought.
So, approaching the temple to the chaos magic god, you can see that if you kind of peek through the doorway, deep in it, there is a light on.
Alrighty then. Proceed carefully. Very careful.
You may rely on it.
Let's see.
Good.
I got my books. Put in here somewhere. It's not. Yeah, not in here. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So the symbol carved into this is a flame in a tear. So a tear with fire bursting out of it. And this temple looks like it was probably very rarely used back in whenever it was active. The other temples seemed like they did get more use than this one. There's a couple burnt out books and such. But as you enter, you can see that there appears to be a set of carved stairs going down out where the light is coming from.
Cool.
Is that where our quest indicator is pointing?
All right then.
Maybe Gale's gonna go try to be a little sneaky about it and peer over down the stairs before anyone does anything.
Okay. Can I get a stealth check, please?
At advantage.
Oops. Oh. 18.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, very quietly sneak up to the edge, and you peer down, and you can see it's roughly carved stairs. Like this was added. It doesn't match any of the decor, so this was probably added at a later date, and maybe by not necessarily not a professional, but someone who maybe didn't have the right tools for the job, or there was only like one of them or something. And they're carved down.
I hold Tarbek's hands to his sides because I know he's going to be tempted to try to fix the staircase.
I wasn't. Maybe I was gonna, but okay, I won't.
We all know you were gonna.
Yes,
I have a need to renovate.
you can count on it.
Maybe not mess with the Forgotten Gods temple.
Fair enough.
Down the spooky stairs we go.
Okay.
Yep. Gale, go first.
Okay. Down the spooky stairs. The lights are sputtering and inconsistent, but they do seem to be continual light spells, not torches, so nobody has to maintain them. But they're kind of haphazardly placed. And yeah, you guys walk for a while. You seem to be going deeper and deeper into the Underdark.
There's that title drop again.
And eventually you can see there is almost a red sky at like dusk glow from a cavern opening.
Last time I saw a red sky underground, it was real bad.
Okay. Sword drawn, ready to defend.
Okay.
I like to imagine that Gale's going first, and while they're walking, Navira is like right behind with the sword out in front of Gale.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
So
walking to the sword first, bitch.
as the cavern opens up, you enter into another vista of the Underdark. But this one, it indeed has not just red clouds, it looks like a sky. And you can see in the one corner, the light is from a moon that looks like it's been shattered in half. But it looks like the moon. Looking around, you can see a small figure on the horizon who seems to be sweeping.
Oh, cool. I feel like this could be another metal album cover.
Yep.
It's a little bit more abstract, but I'm digging it.
Maybe like a psychedelic rock album.
This one was more like our kind of like prog phase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little later on in the career, doing some experimenting.
Oh. Yeah, what the hell is the name? There's like one cover artist who did like all of the prog rock covers. It's like something Dean or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of dark sunny too, but what would you guys like to do?
Creep up to that. Actually, you know what? Someone else should probably do the creeping. I'm not very good at
Tarbek's
that.
great at creeping, though.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Have one rogue and 2 people in heavy armor and 1 in a rattly amount of jewelry. Stealth, not really our strong suit.
Nah.
This figure seems to have noticed us walk in.
They do not seem to have noticed you walk in. They seem very content to sweep.
And is there like cover in this place, or is it just like
No,
emptiness? Or
there are still some rocky outcroppings and rock formations throughout the landscape, but it is a little kind of blasted and empty of stuff that isn't rocks. It's just a lot of rocks. But you could...
There wasn't a save point on the way in here, was there?
Probably in one of the temples.
I mean, as long as they didn't just, like, dump a bunch of healing items and ammo on us, I think we're alright.
I mean, I just got a cool new sword, but okay.
Fuck.
Did the music change when we entered the room?
Yeah, but it got, like, sadder. Not necessarily, like, more intense.
So this is
Wait,
more
guys,
like an
that's terrible. That
exposition
means
dump
it's gonna...
and not a boss.
No, it's gonna be a Soulsborne boss fight.
Oh boy! Oh no! We are
Okay.
in for it now.
I guess Gayle will try to maybe not sneak, but cautiously walk up to the guy.
Okay. Do you want to make a stealth check, or do you want to be like, hey, I'm cool. Nobody's here to
Have
hurt
we
you,
been
dude.
doing this for more than an hour?
Walking? No.
Okay, because if we haven't, Gayle still has enhanced ability.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess Gayle will just walk up to the guy and be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Hey. You gonna help?
What do we need help with?
You got time to lean, you got time to clean. And he kind of gestures at the endless vista that he is trying to sweep.
I don't know. I'm not really good with the whole hard work.
Tarbek has already started using thaumaturgy to, like, blow dust into, like, a pile.
Sneaking behind him, undoing all of his work.
Shuffle, shuffle.
Navira, who also has thaumaturgy, is just watching.
But yeah, this the individual is a dwarf who has a gray beard, like, down to his, like, feet, and he seems to have a chain around his neck that has a large bell that he is dragging along the ground. And other than that, he's wearing kind of tattered rags, and he's got a just a broom, and he's just sweeping, and he just says, "Well, if you're not here to help, I don't know what you're here for then."
Question, is this guy under any kind of magical effect? Like, is there something messing with his head? Is that an insight check?
Yeah, insight check. That's a good check for that, yeah.
That is... Oh, that's not very good. I don't think I have inspiration or anything. Insight, that is 13.
25.
Okay, well,
So-
13, 25.
17, because I guidance myself.
Oh, okay, sure. So you neither of you think he is magically compelled. He seems like he's been here a very, very, very long time. And that may have done something to him more than he's magically compelled to be weird or crazy or anything.
He's just fallen into a bit of a routine is all.
Ugh. It's never going to get clean. Look at it.
You say it's never going to get clean, then why do you continue sweeping?
If I don't do it, who's gonna do it? Somebody's got it.
No one, because it's never going to get clean.
What have I been? He will just start sobbing and say, "What have I been doing here?"
Wow.
Oh,
I feel so bad now.
sweeping.
I mean, your work was valuable to you up until this point, but now it isn't. So you just do what's valuable to you now.
Yeah, don't be sad that it's over. Be glad that it happened.
I mean, I happen to be an expert on wasted time.
Kind of.
You could braid your beard. It's getting really long.
Yeah, he'll, wipe a tear, and when he does, he wipes a layer of dust off of his face. And he says, "Well, what do you guys do with your lives, I guess?"
Currently, we are looking for a very dangerous artifact.
To stop a lot of people from dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll kind of get a far-off look in his eyes, and he says, "That sounds familiar. I think maybe I did that too once. So long ago.
Well, you could always help us now.
Yeah. What's your name, buddy?
He says, the stranger."
That's your name?
I think so.
Oh my god. No way. Okay. Alright, so... I might know who this guy is.
Roll to metagame?
This might
not roll the metagame, no.
This isn't roll to metagame, this is roll to know something in my character's backstory.
Roll to backstory. Awesome.
Even better.
So... I don't know if Tarbek has told the rest of the group is... Dwarven names tend to get reused a lot. Tarbek is not the first Tarbek. The first Tarbek was a castless dwarf named Tarbek the Stranger, who is an adventurer, who went mysteriously missing one time. And no one really ever knew what happened to him.
Roll to recognize the knife that you handed Andy.
Roll to have it stabbed.
And this is hundreds of years ago.
And then roll to feel.
I don't even know if Tarbek would have been alive. Like, Tarbek the Second would have been alive for this. Tarbek will sort of squint his eyes and go, "Are you, by any chance, named Tarbek?"
He'll think for a second, and he'll say, That does sound right."
And Tarbek will take out something like a medallion or something with his clan symbol on it, and hold it up to him.
And he'll kind of slowly and steadily nod, and he'll say, "It's been so long." And he kind of shakes his head. And he says, "You're here for the Guardian's Tear."
And I'm going to walk up to him, put a hand on his shoulder, and say, "I'm also here for you." I'm going to give him a big hug.
Is this cry? And he'll,
Yes, definitely.
A little bit of cry.
he'll kind of he has not been touched in like 1,000 years, so he kind of gets small at it, but then gives you a hug back.
See, the worst part of this is I'm looking on the clan. I'm looking on the clan sort of history. His wife is totally still alive.
Oh, well, that's good.
Oh man, we're gonna cry so much later.
Why tell us that now?
Oh, just Tarbek is saying that to Tarbek. Oh, we're gonna cry so much later.
No, Tarbek will actually say, Yondelin's still alive. She misses you very much.
He'll again nod smallly, and he'll say, it's so long ago. I hope she knows I was gone for a good reason.
We dwarves don't easily forget.
He'll say, I did so much of... How long has it been? Who are you?
I'm, the second Tarbek. Or third, fourth Tarbek. I'm a later Tarbek. Of Glorum.
He'll nod and he'll say, well, that is good to hear. That there are... that the line continued. But first, before I forget again, we should get you to the tier.
You know where it is.
He'll kind of scan the landscape and he'll say, "Oh, it's here somewhere." Oh, okay. Oh, think Tarbek, think. He'll look up and he'll point at the moon.
Oh.
So who's going to toss
Most
that?
likely.
I mean, I have a strength modifier of +9. Who wants to get yeeted?
I feel like I definitely have a spell for this. How high up is it? The moon, would you say?
Whew. I mean, it looks pretty... It looks very high up. You'd say it's probably a mile to the top of the cave.
Yeesh. Yeah, it's not something I can stone shape.
Well, you could. It would just... Yeah, it would take a long time, but yeah.
Okay, so... Maybe not. 1 second.
So,
I'm looking up
anybody want to
animate-
be a bird?
Oh, right, you have polymorph, don't you?
I'll be a bird.
Okay. Have any preferences?
Kick-ass bird.
Secretary bird it is.
Okay. Strong bird opinions.
Those are good birds, though.
You stamp snakes to death, and your makeup is always on point.
Awesome.
Okay. So Gayle pops into a bird. A secretary bird?
Yep.
Is that what it is? I'm Googling it. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're kind of... Is that kind of...
Oh, dang.
That's...
Oh my god.
That's one fancy bird.
Look at them legs.
Yeah.
They stamp snakes to death. They're terrifying.
Wow.
Okay, so... Gayle...
This really cool bird.
Yeah, pops into this really cool Final Fantasy bird. And well, she can't talk anymore. What do you want to do, Gayle?
I guess Gail will see if she can fly up to the moon.
Okay.
And she's like, you hear her cawing. It might sound like, I'm a bird.
Whee!
Okay, so Gayle flaps her wings and starts to fly towards the moon. And as you get closer, Gayle, you can see that the night effect, the sky effect on the ceiling is kind of weird. You can see that there is rock eventually, but it's one of those things where you have to get very close to it before it becomes obvious. And it's just that the rock looks like ever-moving red sky. You can see it's solid, but that's what is red. It's the rock, and it's kind of slowly shifting, and clouds sometimes appear to drift through it. But the moon shattered in half, you can see that floating in the center of the moon is a blue crystalline tear that's about 1 foot long and 8 inches wide at its base. And it seems like the moon has shattered around it. And the moon is 3-dimensional. Sorry, that's my last bit. It is a literal rock floating in the sky.
Gail will try to land on the rock, part of the moon rock, just to get herself oriented and cock her head and look at the bird or look at the tear. Mm-hmm. Would I be able to carry it, or did I choose the wrong bird?
You might have wanted an eagle for that. I don't know how big are secretary birds, Jay.
I mean,
Google.
Let's see.
Decently big. They're tall.
1.3 meters tall. Wow.
Oh,
they're big enough.
Shit! Really? Okay, yeah, you might be able to carry it then.
Yeah, for the looks of the pictures, these are big birds.
They also don't generally fly that long distances, but I'm assuming you're hopping from thing to thing, probably.
Yeah. I did land on the moon, so I'm not hovering.
I'm a bird who landed on the moon, okay, guys? It's not weird.
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah, I was hoping that someone else would make that joke, so I didn't have to.
I was just waiting for a good moment.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, since you're what was it, 1.5 meters tall, you can grab this thing, this tier.
Damn.
This whatchamacallit, part of a god.
So yeah, bird Gail will just flap her wings again and land on the tier and try to pull it out.
Oh shit, yeah. Okay. So as you tug at it, people on the ground, you can see that the moon shifts as Gayle starts to wiggle the tier free, and the moon kind of shimmies back and forth as she is moving it.
Are we in any danger of being hit?
No, you guys are far enough away that you would, if it fell straight down, you would not be hit by the moon.
All right.
Take a
She
big
looks
step back just in case.
She looks at both Tarbeks and Kaw and is and then points to the door and says, "Get ready to run."
Without a doubt.
Question: does this guy, my great grandfather, does he have a chain around his neck?
He does. It's connected to a bell on the ground, but he can pick it up. It's not prohibitive, or he's not.
I don't know how long this whole process takes, but during this process, I would like to use Artisan's Blessing to turn that chain into a flail and get it off his neck.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can do that.
I know you don't like flails, Jay, but... It's thematic.
I wasn't thinking about it. Now I am.
Okay. Okay, so everyone takes a step back. Tarbek kind of rubs his other Tarbek rubs his neck and hefts the flail. He doesn't quite know what is happening, but he seems prepared. And he quickly grabs his broom and holds it to him. Protect me, broom.
Broom in one hand, flail in the other. This guy's ready for battle.
Yeah. Gayle, as you wrestle this thing, you can kind of feel it like there is some resistance to it, but eventually you do pull it free. And you can see the moon around you kind of jerks forward when you do, but it's still floating there.
She'll just like look around and be like, everything cool? Okay, and she'll flap away.
Okay. Okay. So as you do, the moon does indeed kind of slowly start to, Majora's Mask style, fall towards...
Hurdy-gurdy in
That's a
hand,
very-
ready on the Song of Time.
Yeah. But like Majora's Mask, it's slow, and it's not... It will take 72 hours to hit the Earth.
Dawn of the final day, 24 hours remaining.
Okay, next thing, we have to go and rescue 4 giants.
I don't know. I feel like, this guy might actually be old enough. He's probably got a thing with giants. I'd rather not get into it.
But Gayle comes back down as a bird and lands with those big legs and has the guardian's tear in her talons. Her snake stomping talons.
Tarbek will take out like a pair of tongs and like gently pick it up and put it inside something, hopefully magic resistant. I don't know, like a bag. The bag of holding be good for this.
Should
Sure.
have brought a box.
Doubt.
Tarbek will use stone shape to make a tiny little jewelry box for it.
Okay.
Because I don't think we have time for another artisan's blessing. All right, so now it's
Put it
got a
in
tiny
box,
little.
and I'm gonna put that box in a box, and I'm gonna put that box out of another locked box.
I'll just put the box in the bag of holding. How about that?
I put that bag of holding in another bag of holding.
Okay, I'll
lock that bag of holding.
keep the box on my person. Is what I'll do.
That seems wise, as opposed to putting an artifact that is known to disrupt magic into an interdimensional.
Okay, I'll tuck it into my beard.
I take it Dark Suns right there. Just putting this thing in a bag of holding. What would you like to do now?
Vamoose.
Run away.
I don't see
The
any
Metroid
reason
escape
for us to...
timer started.
I
I'd
don't see
like-
any reason for us to stay in the Hall of Forgotten Gods.
I'd like to take Grandpa with me, if possible.
Sure. He seems a lot. He's getting more lucid by the minute, and he seems to have remembered he was tasked with guarding the Guardian's Tear, and that if it is no longer safe here, he will go with the Tear to where it will be safe.
To the lava boat.
He'll say, "What?"
It's a long story.
Okay.
You remember the old Citadel, the Obsidian Citadel? I think I was actually still active in your time.
Went to prom there. Yeah.
So, we are going to take it there.
Okay. Sounds as good a place as any.
Well, also this... Did we mention Orcus is putting this place under siege, this town?
He'll kind of squint, and he'll say, Orcus.
Let's not overwhelm him with too much information to play.
Also, might see a bunch of drow. That's okay.
Squint.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair warning.
Drow.
Look, it's a different time now, Grandpa.
Oh.
Not that different.
Oh.
Well,
Did we mention that there's a drow city built on top of this drow city?
He'll just shake his head and say, so wasteful.
yeah, dwarves tend to reuse old cities.
But if you guys drag him upstairs, you go back through the Hall of Forgotten Gods. I don't think there's anything we missed there. And you can take him back up through the city, and he kind of squints at the not weird red sky he was used to. Do you want to go back through the city straight to the lava boat, or do you want to talk to the matron mother? Or I'm going to assume no one wants to talk to Karen.
No.
But do you want to go straight to the lava boat, or do you want to talk to the matron mother?
Lava boat.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
I'm
vote
still a
lava
bird.
boat. Yeah, you're a bird for up to an hour.
Caw.
All right. You can end concentration on that at any time, but look, if she still wants to be a bird,
If she wants to be a bird, I've already used the spell. May as well maintain it. Gain a
Kick-ass
new
bird for an hour.
appreciation for why Lady Kaw is always tilting her head.
As you approach the lava boat, the Firebeard has returned. He has brought Grandfather Firebeard.
Oh, do you know these guys?
He's kind of shakes his head and he says, bunch of weirdos, am I right?
Let's just get on the boat.
Of course. Hail... What are they? They like Imix? Hail Imix!
Oh, jeez.
Most holy of fire. Just take us to where we want to go, you weird lizards. And back onto the fireboat to where we started the episode, and that feels like a good place to end the episode. So, outros and plugs. Daniel.
I found Grandpa, yeah!
Yay!
Yay! Now he gets to go to Shadowfell, yay!
Well, now I'm sad. Anyways, hi, I'm Daniel. You can catch me every other Sunday, Horrible Barovia time, and every first Monday of the month for Stars Without Number. Pew, 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 pew. That's the noise of sci-fi.
That is in the sci-fi noise.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm here and also on Stars Without Number show on Mondays.
We're in all
And
the same
Gayle.
games.
Yeah. Gale's House of Lies still stands.
Yes!
Hey,
Hey, look! We exported the Guardian's tier!
Dangerous items. That's what we export.
Dangerous items and bad decisions. How
Grandpa's, apparently.
And also ancestors. Long forgotten ancestors.
Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. You can find me here and also on our Call of Cthulhu game. Sure, on one of the Tuesdays of the month, I forget.
It's recorded on Tuesday.
yeah.
It premieres on Monday.
No, it is
Unless you're
totally
saying-
live. Shush. I know when my shows air. I know when this show airs.
And Mira.
Hi, I'm Vera. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Birds and Nerds. I post art. Not a whole lot recently, but that may change. I don't know. Add to the list one of my favorite role-playing moments from this show, the moment that Tarbek found the first Tarbek. That was real good. I loved it.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that was.
Um,
I didn't think you would actually dig that deep. I kind of just put a question mark there as like an offside.
You put people who don't know their current whereabouts. I'm using that.
Oh dear. Well, the other one is.
When you put it like that,
Yeah.
I am concerned.
Well, I'm not going to tell anyone about the other one.
Well, when you put it like that, I am concerned.
I'm Andy Hatton. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
When does a blank space on a character sheet ever come back to haunt anyone or backfire in any way whatsoever? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what
Something about a goblin sister, but that at least had a happy
I
end.
don't know what anyone is talking about. Gayle got a cool sword. Isn't that important?
Yeah.
That is very neat. Thank you.
I don't know. We have a history with swords on this show.
This one hasn't started talking.
No.
Mm-mm.
It is pretty edgelordy. I mean, it's all black. It's invisible in darkness. It doesn't
So
talk much.
darkness makes me invisible.
That's the way I like it.
No, I don't care about your spiders, Mom.
God, just leave me alone. I just want to wear my mask.
Oh my god. It's like another type of character Andy plays super well.
What, the rebellious teenager? I do like the rebellious teenager.
Deuces.
Whatever, man, deuces. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to know the schedule for this, because that's pretty much all I post. Next week is aforementioned Stars Without Number, Phantom Horizons. Everything ended on that fine, so I can't imagine anything that would be bad or anything like that.
No.
Next week is, on Wednesday, is Star Chasers, with episode 8, The Dread Pirate Manchun, and I also wouldn't worry about that. So, yeah.
Come back next week for a lot of space.
Pew, 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 pew. Sci-fi noises.
Yeah. All the space. It's all of the space in one place. We did it. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Pew, 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 pew.